welcome to New Journeys Counselling channel. My name is Marianne. I'm the owner and the counsellor at New Journeys Counselling. If you're tuning in for the first time, then I'll just give you like a little bit of information, and that is that New Journeys Counselling provides therapy to couples, to individuals with depression and individuals with stress. If you want to know more information, then please just watch any of my videos on YouTube, or go to my Facebook page, which is New Journeys Counselling, or you can also find me on Twitter and Instagram. But anyway, I'm making today's video because I've joined a number of groups. I'm a member of lots of groups on LinkedIn, on Facebook and other platforms. And the main purpose I join other groups is to contribute and to provide my support. It's always about reading. If you know you've got knowledge in a particular area, then it's really good to share. But also, with some of the groups, it's for personal support as well. So I may have something in common with the group members. There's lots of reasons. But anyway, one of the groups that I'm a member of is around mental health, depression and suicide. So it sort of made me think a little bit about, as a counsellor, we do work with many suicidal clients. It's not always brought into the counselling room, meaning that they don't always feel comfortable to discuss it or explore it, but you sometimes are aware that they have had suicidal thoughts in the past, because that's picked up on the initial appointment, or sometimes they may say something which leads you to further explore. So what I wanted to do today was to just give 3 tips that I think are useful if you are experiencing suicidal thoughts. Now, I'm not saying that everyone's the same and that these will work for everyone, but these are just a few ideas, and if you can relate to this, and if they do work for you, then, that's good. If not, then maybe just think of maybe some other strategies you can use. The other thing I want to say is that obviously I'm not a doctor, I am a therapist, but if you are having suicidal thoughts, the first step is always to go and speak to your doctor, because I just think they've got more of a professional, they can probably help you in a better way. So tip number 1 is to be ready. And what I mean by that is to be prepared. If you're someone that has previously had suicidal thoughts, there's always a possibility that they may reoccur again. So because you're already aware of how you felt at that time, that you were quite close to taking your life, or maybe these thoughts were sort of so overpowering, why not get prepared? And what I mean by that is, think of some of the things that you can do or say when these suicidal thoughts come into your head. So an example could be, if you already know that when you start having these thoughts, some of the feelings you have are that you'd be better off not being here, no one would miss me, this is just too much, whatever you're going through, whether it's to do with financial problems, a relationship breakup, it's just too much for you. Think of a counter argument that you could have. So when the thought pops into your head that, oh, no one would miss me, then maybe already have the answer that someone would miss me. My mum would miss me because she's always telling me how much she loves me. My colleagues would miss me because they would notice that I'm not there, we get on really well. What you're trying to do is take control by having those arguments ready. So when the suicidal thoughts come into your head, you have a counter-argument for them. Okay? So the second tip is kind of linked really to this, and it's about lots of people feel that no one would miss them, so they'll say, if I just die, if I'm not here anymore, if I'm not around, the problem's over. But what you've got to think about is there's a lot of people that would miss you, because you don't just live on this world, in isolation. I'm not even talking about family. So you may not have lots of family, you may not have friends, but there are lots of people on a day-to-day basis, I'm sure, that you connect with, that you interact with. All those people would miss your presence. Now, even people that you probably think don't even like you, or they don't hardly speak to you, I'm sure if you were not around, they would notice that you're not here. So what I'm going to ask you to do, as part of maybe do this might be risky, is all the people that you know and that you trust, ask them to write a letter, and ask them to write that letter to you. So the family members could write how much they love you, how much they care about you, how much they would miss you if you was not around. So you're going to ask them to write the letter when you're in a better mood. So you're asking them when you're up and you feel positive, keep those letters in a box or even a card or whatever they want to write. And when those suicidal thoughts come into your head, you take the letter out and read it, because all that's going to do is reaffirm that what your thoughts are not actually correct. Now, I've done a similar thing to myself, where not around suicidal thoughts, but when I was lacking in quite a lot of confidence, and I felt that, I just didn't believe in myself, I actually wrote a letter to myself. Someone actually recommended this, talking about all my achievements, talking about how, my good qualities, writing about all the things I've done, all the things I've achieved. And even 3 years on from writing that letter, when I take it out and I read it to myself, it makes me feel good, because it's reaffirming something within me. So ask those people to write you the letter, keep it close to your heart, and then when you do have the suicidal thoughts, take the letter out and just read it, and it will help you to feel a lot better then. The third thing is to use distraction. So distraction is a really powerful tool, because whenever you've got these thoughts, and they can be overwhelming, and that's regarding anything, it doesn't just have to be suicidal thoughts. Thoughts are really powerful, because if you're just thinking about whether it's the past, or you're thinking about a relationship breakup, you're thinking about having no money, those thoughts can just lead to really strong emotions and feelings. So the key is using distraction means that you're focusing on something else. So when the suicidal thoughts come into your head, what you want to do is just anything you can to distract yourself. That could be me putting on a film. A really, really 3-hour film was really good, because it means you've got longer time to get lost in the film. It could mean going for a long walk, listening to music, get on the phone and just talk to anyone, go and visit someone, or think of probably 3 to 5 things that you can do which will distract you. So it doesn't mean those thoughts are going to go away then. They might come back, they might reoccur, but what you're doing is you're using lots of distraction tools, and you're hoping that you'll get lost within the distractive activities, so that those thoughts do disappear. So that's really the 3 main tips, but the other thing I would say is to just fight these thoughts. Your thoughts belong to you, it's your mind, you have control. It might not feel like that at the time, it might feel like you're not in control, that the thoughts are taking over, but you are in control. And what you want to try and also recognise is that the suicidal thoughts are quite irrational at the time sometimes, because it's basically saying that you would no longer be, it's better for you not to be here, and it's basically saying to yourself that whatever the issue or problem is, you can't resolve it, when there's probably about 1 million solutions to every single problem. You just haven't had a chance to think about them. So take control, take your power back, take your mind back, take those thoughts back, and just fight it. Say to yourself, well, let me give it another hour, see how I feel then. Let me give it another day. Let me see how I feel tomorrow. Let me tap into the Facebook groups I'm a member of, the support groups. Let me use everything within my power to not succumb to these suicidal thoughts, because once you've taken your life, there's no going back. You can't change your mind. You can't say, you can't say anything really, can you? It's the people that you've left behind. So that's just a quick video on this. Now, if you want to find more information, as I've said, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, but this isn't really about, the reason I do videos is to provide information, and mostly my YouTube channel is really on videos that are around anything relating to counselling. And I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it useful, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.